Welcome back to another CSE Issuer update. This is James Black. Again, I'm today joined by Aleksandar Mišković, the CEO of TERA, Balcanica Resources, symbol TERA, listed on the CSE. Aleksandar's actually joining us from quite a ways away here. I'm in Toronto, as you can tell from the background. But for our viewers today, why don't you share with them where you're located right now?
Hi, James, and thank you so much for having me on. I'm currently in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Where our flagship project is located. It's stifling 39 degrees Celsius, but that's the way we like it. And just preparing for a phase 3 drilling campaign about to start 2 weeks from now.
Awesome. Okay, well, why don't we start there? Why don't you start with just the basics of the company, what you guys are doing over there, and the nature of your project?
For sure. So Terra Balcanica has been a CSE issuer since June 22nd of 2022, so almost actually 3 years now. And we are a junior Canadian explorer focusing on polymetallic asset in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, this might be a bit of an unknown to some of your viewers and the Canadian/American viewership, but if people can recollect, 2 weeks ago, Dundee Precious Metals acquired Adriatic Metals, a company that's located only 80 kilometers from our flagship project, for $1.3 billion. US dollars, 1.77 Canadian. I guess I'm mentioning that just to tell you how big things can get in the Western Balkans. 21 million tons with an average grade of 590 grams per ton silver equivalent is what Adriatic has. And we are basically right in the neighborhood. We are specifically targeting antimony and silver, two critical metals, both of which have experienced quite a bit of a price increase in the last 12 months. And we are now at the cusp of that proverbial Lassonde curve, where we are about to prove the size, the volume of our ore body at the Brezheny target in the phase 3 drilling, which I said is going to start in 2 weeks from now.
Oh, good stuff. Maybe just share with the viewers then what it's like operating in the Western Balkans. Are there any particular benefits? Are there some challenges? It's not common that we hear stories of companies exploring for metals there. So maybe just share with us what it's like being an operator exploring in that region.
For sure. I would say it's a lovely mix of jurisdictional support. We have a country with a very clear mining code, open for business, thirsty for foreign investment, skilled and relatively affordable workforce, and a millennia of mining history. Bosnia, the Western Balkans, has been mined since the Roman times, literally since the Roman times. The place where we explore used to be known back in ancient world as Argentaria, i.e. the Silverville, now called Srebrenica, and that's exactly where we are looking to find some more silver. So I guess the fact that Adriatic was able to commence their story back in 2018 with the initial drill hole and advance the project so rapidly that by 2023 they opened a brand new mine is truly a testament of how quickly things can unfold in Bosnia. I mean, one would be hard-pressed to find any jurisdiction on the face of the earth, our beloved Canada as well, where you can advance the project in 5 years' time. And that's exactly what Adriatic has been able to do. So if you have a good geology, if you have the financial support, a good team behind you, the government certainly can lean into the project and support that, because ultimately they benefit from it. I think Adriatic's Bareš silver mine is now Bosnia's largest taxpayer, and obviously they employ between 300 and 400 people locally, which is obviously what the local politicians want.
Absolutely. So let's talk again about your flagship, the Viogor-Zanik Project. You just mentioned phase 3 exploration. What does that exactly mean? What are you guys applying to the property now, and what are your expectations going into this phase of exploration?
Right. So we started 5 years ago, drilled about 3,000 meters of drilling so far, defined 2 key targets, one called Čumavići, the other one called Brezheny. Both of those are going to be drilled in the upcoming phase 3 drilling campaign. What we have discovered is basically shallow, high-grade, polymetallic, but mostly antimony, silver, lead, and zinc deposits. surrounding an operating mine. So we have a private entity out of UK called Mineco Ltd, which is only 7 kilometers away as a crow flies from our project. And they are operating a mine that produces 350,000 tons of lead, zinc, silver, antimony, gold concentrate, which means that should we find something mineable in the near future, we can certainly try to leverage their presence and through some sort of a JV or partnership and take advantage of the existing capital infrastructure that's on site. However, again, first things first, what we want to do in this 2025 phase 3 drilling season is to really try to define press release, which was initially announced on the 20th of January of this year by TERA, and that's an intercept of about 20 meters with close to 450 grams per ton silver equivalent. We have significant amounts of antimony, up to 1.5% antimony, and close to 300-400 grams per ton silver equivalent. If we are able to prove the volume, the size in the upcoming drill campaign, I think we're going to be looking towards resource definition drilling in 2025 and try to push this towards a preliminary inferred 43-101 resource by the end of 2026.
Right. And based on what you're mentioning, there's infrastructure near the project as far as processing and transportation of ore. Is that correct?
That's it. That's the beautiful thing of exploring in Europe. I mean, for all those who are unknown, we also have a uranium portfolio in Saskatchewan, even though I love uranium and I love Saskatchewan and it's great to explore on home soil. I mean, just to get to Uranium City, it takes about 2 hours Cessna flight from Fort McMurray in Alberta, which means it's remote. Whereas when you explore in Europe, chances are you have paved roads, your crew is staying in a local motel, there's 220 kilowatt power lines above you. It's just easy to operate. Places tend to be populated, but in case of Bosnia, actually, even that works in our favor because unfortunately the country has experienced a bit of a demographic exodus in the last 10, 15 years, which means that for the most part, the vast swath of lands are actually empty and available to our geologists to roam around and find new stuff. So again, we are very happy. We have a full license to operate on a local and governmental level, excellent relationship with the community, both in Sarajevo, Banja Luka, and at the local level. And, obviously they didn't come, from nowhere. We worked hard at achieving that. But now we are basically at the point of capitalizing on all of those things and really trying to leverage the share price of Terra Balcanica on the CSE board to the benefit of our shareholders through some successes in the phase 3 drilling season.
Absolutely. Second last question. You've talked in the past about a boots on the ground exploration philosophy. I'm actually curious what this means. How does this differ you from your peers, or is this something you've learned over your own experience looking for minerals that you're now applying into this project?
Well, to some extent, yes. I guess everybody starts a project differently. Some people acquire, let's say, an old mine and they try to reinfuse it with new life. Some people are keen on proximology. They find new things next to a giant, a whale. In this case, I approached it from a kind of an academic standpoint because I do come from an academic background. I'm familiar with geology of Balkan Peninsula. We wanted to test the thesis whether Bosnia could contain a porphyry copper deposit. That was the initial thesis that led us to Eastern Bosnia and Viogor-Zanik. I think we have found something that looks like a shallow porphyry, although the initial drill hole did not yield significant copper-gold intercepts. Rarely do you actually hit a porphyry on the first hole. However, in the process of finding that holy grail, we've discovered and unearthed many, many other things, primarily these epithermal polymetallic deposits, which we're now realizing is really actually a low-hanging fruit and something we should focus on. So yes, we've started this project with basically 2 people at the beginning, totally from scratch, boots on the ground, roaming the land, and defining these targets the hard way. Terra spent close to $2 million before we put a single drill hole into the ground. Very systematic, very deliberate, layer-by-layer approach to build value and to build the targets. I guess in retrospect, that was a good approach because now 9 out of every 10 drill holes that we put in the ground hits the target. So I guess my approach is validated through the fact that it's been successful, but it is a bit risky to start things from scratch. And I must say that actually in today's capital markets world, brand new exploration stories are not getting a lot of love from investors, and it's really difficult to raise cash. But we've been successful. I guess another testament to the fact that if you actually truly have a technically sound asset that people who are on the know understand, then they are willing to put the money in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's if you've got a sophisticated methodology and a sound project, I think the money's out there. We just got to pair the two together. And so in that mind, then just looking ahead to the next 6 months, 12 months, you've already alluded to it, but what's your roadmap look like for the next exploration season, phase 3 drilling exploration season, and even beyond that you're looking forward to?
For sure. So the next 6 months are very clearly laid out for me. Commence the field work, i.e. the drill season, by, let's say, third week of July. Execute that over the course of 2 months, about 9 to 12 holes, depending on success. We'll be closely looking out to see if we are hitting the same mineralized zone that we did before, the one that was announced on the 20th of January. If we are, then we're going to try to release these one by one to the market and try to really raise awareness about it. I think having technical success is only one part of the story. One also has to do and be very diligent about marketing and bringing the proverbial eyeballs to the story. It's no good being the best in the world if nobody knows about you. So that's also going to be a part of the effort. And then hopefully by sometime in fall, we'll be valued significantly differently and then try to raise cash for that last push, that phase 4 drilling, the resource definition drilling, which should bring us to the 43-101 resource by Christmas 2026.
Awesome. So on that note, Alex, where do you want potential investors or people following the company to keep an eye on you?
Well, again, a couple of bullet points. Antimony, silver, both in vogue. Antimony is now sitting quite comfortably at $25 a pound. 6 times increase since March of 2024. And I don't think it's going to be going down. Bosnia, a place to invest, underexplored, yet very well endowed. Very close to Adriatic Metals, which is a success story. Australians particularly know about it. But a lot of people in Canada made money with it as well. And again, the critical time to be looking at Terra. We have done all the hard work, heavy lifting, stream sediment sampling, airborne geophysics, initial preliminary drilling. Now we are in the process of actually confirming whether we have potentially what could be upwards of 10 to 15 million ton ore body on our hands. And I can't wait to see the results of it. I'm going to be keenly sitting next to the drill rig over the course of the next 2 months here in Bosnia.
That's exciting. Aleksandar Mišković, CEO of Terra, Balcanica, listed on the CSE under the symbol TERA. Look forward to following your progress on the exchange, on your exploration, and wish you all the best.
James, thank you so much again for having me on. It's a pleasure to be listed on CSE, and I look forward to talking to you.
All the best. Thanks so much.